Hello everyone, hope you all are doing great. Thank you for joining us today for the session on Introduction to Python for Beginners. Write your first script. The session is designed to help you get started with Python through hands-on scripting and debugging. Give you the tool to write your first line of code and understand how real-world application begin. Now, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce our speaker, Mr. Shiv. Shiva has over 12 years of experience delivering impactful training in more than 90 colleges and leading over 10 faculty development programs. He has worked closely with both student and faculty, enabling skill-based learning and helping educators align their research with current industry trends. An expert in Python, he specialized in teaching and applying it in machine learning, deep learning, prompt engineering, and generative AI. Known for his practical approach, he bridged academic concept with real-world use cases, making technical learning both accessible and relevant. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Shiva. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Preeti, for the nice introduction. So I'll take from here. So hello, everyone. Very good afternoon. So let's start. Okay, I'll just turn off the camera so that you can focus on the coding part. Okay. Right. So if you're not able to hear me or if you have any problems, with the screen, do let me know. I'll share my screen. Okay. Give 1 minute. Okay, I guess you're able to see the screen. Yep.
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. So Python. So we are going to discuss about Python, and let's discuss about the history of Python. What version, like 3.3, we are going to study. We are going to learn, and who created it. All those things we'll discuss. We'll discuss at the end. I'll just right away start with the coding part of Python. Okay. And as you all know, Python is a scripting language, and it can now people are using it for programming also. And Python is a fundamental language for AI, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI. So all those things, if you want to specialize, people are talking about AI, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI everywhere. And if you wanted to, master any of these, you need to have Python knowledge. And not only for here, like if you can also make web applications using Python. You can have automation works in Python. So it is can also be considered as a programming language. And for any programming language, the first thing you need to know is variables. So okay. Now, what is this? I'm opening something in the browser, right? Now, this is called the Jupyter Notebook. And this is one of the tool used for learning and practicing Python. And there are plenty of tools out there. You can use Visual Studio, you can use PyCharm, you can use Idle, you can use online platforms, even Google Colab, right? And now Jupyter. This is a tool I'm going to use for today's class. And Jupyter is one of the most commonly used tool by the data scientist and artificial intelligence people. As I'm from AI, I will be using Jupyter, and it's totally up to you. You can use any tool to learn and practice Python. And if you ask me personally, if you're a beginner, I would suggest Jupyter because it's very user friendly and it's very intuitive, right? Right. So let's start with variable declaration in Python. Now, what is variable? To store anything, in computer, you need variables. For example, a equal to 10. Now, 10 will be stored in a. B equals to 3.14. Now 3.14 will be stored in B. C equals to, let's say, my name is Shiva. So Shiva will be stored in C. Now in Python, you can use double quotes as well as single quotes. For example, D equals to good afternoon. So you can use double quotes as well as single quotes to store any variable in to store any string in Python. So for storing numbers or for saving numbers, you don't need to have double quotes. But for saving a word or a letter, you need to use double quotes or single quotes. It's like using left hand or right hand for writing exams. You can use any hand to write an exam and pass the exam. So same way, people don't care about double quotes or single quotes, but stick to anyone throughout your career or throughout the code, right? So if I run it, how to run it? So here you see a play button, right? So if I click this cell, now you see a box, right? This box is called cell. This box is called cell. Now, if you want to have a new cell, you have to click plus. So that new cells will be created and you click the scissor symbol, cells will be deleted. Okay. Now I run this so that 10 will get stored in A, 3.14 will be in B, and Shiva will be in C, good afternoon will be in D. Next thing, what you need to know? You need to know how to print, something in Python. So printing in Python. Now print hello. It will print hello. Print welcome. You can use double quotes as well as single quotes. So this will print welcome. Now A equal to 10. Print A. Now this will print A, not 10. But you use something like this, B equal to 20. Print, if you write something within double quotes, it will be printed as such. So that now you'll get the output as B. Now here. So if you give something within double quotes, it will be printed as such. If not, it will be print just like that. Okay. So here 20 will be printed. Here, since it is within double quotes, B is printed. Right. Now name equal to, let's say I write my name Shiva, and quotes equals to Python, and rank equals to 1. Print, I give right, okay, I give something like this. My name is, now this will print me, my name is, now here, print, my name is, comma, I give name. Now, since it is within double quotes, it will be printed as such, my name is, and in place of name, it will print name. Okay. So print my name is, comma, name, comma, now, and studying. Okay, now this will print me. My name is Shiva and studying. Now here will be, in place of course, it is going to be Python. And here, and got rank. Right? And here, okay. So this is how you print in Python. For example, A equal to 10, B equals to 20, C equals to A plus B. Print C. Now this will print me 30. Now here, print the answer is. So this will print me the answer is. Right? Now here, comma, C. Now this will print me the answer is 30. Okay. Now this is how you print in Python. Now next thing you should know in Python is data types. Now here, A equal to 10, B equals to 3.14, C equals to hello. Now here, A is a variable, B is a variable, C is a variable. 10 is a data stored in A, 3.14 is a data stored in B, and hello is a data stored in C. Now, if you want to know the data type, how will you know it? Print type of A, print type of B, print type of C. Now, this will print me int, float, and string. So since it's a whole number, it is printing integer. And since it's a decimal number, it's printing float. And since it's enclosed within quotes, it is printing it as string. Now, this is how you can know the data types in Python. So you have to use this function, which is called type of. Okay. Now, next thing is type cast. I'm just starting from the very scratch of Python, like how to declare variable, how to print, and we are going in that way. Now typecasting. A equal to 10, B equals to like float of A. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to convert this A into a floating number, which is like a decimal number. Now print B will be like 10.0. Print type of B. Now, since A is converted to 10.0 and it is stored in B, now this will print me type of B as float. Now here, A equal to 10 point, let's say 9. B equal to int of A, print B. Now this will print me 10, print type of B. Now I'm converting this float into integer. So what does it mean? It will take only the integer part, which is 10. Right? And it is not rounding off, no matter whether it is 10.9 or it is 10.1, it is always going to be like 10. Okay? This is how typecasting is done. Now, what it is? It is a string or an integer. When you print A, it will be 10 only. But when you check the data type, it will be like string. So whatever, whether it's a number or a word, if it is enclosed within double quotes, it will be considered as string. Now here, I can convert this into an integer. Print B. Now you can see it is integer. But if I try to do same for, let's say, dot, it will throw me an error. So string can be converted to an integer provided within double quotes it should be a number. So I can see some lot of messages here. Okay. So okay. All right. Now next thing. Conditional. Okay. Next is operators. Okay. Now A equal to 10, B equals to, let's say 5, C equals to A plus B, or I name it as like C1, C2 equal to A minus B, C3 equal to A into B, C4 equal to A divided by B. So print C1, print C2, print C3, print C4. Okay. Now you will see that 15, 5, 20, 50 and 2.0. In Python, it will, when you divide, it will give you a float number only. Now, for example, I change this to 7 and 2. You get 3.5. Now here, C5 equal to A double slash of B, C6 equal to A star B, C7 equal to A. So here double star and here A modulus of, right? Now C5 will give me print C5, print C6, print C7. Okay. Now you can see that C5 will give you the value before the decimal. Okay. C6 is exponential. Okay. And C7 is like modulo, will give the remainder. You all got it? So this is how operators are used in Python. There are many operators, but I feel like this will be fair, or you can go for like A equal to 10, B equal to 5, C equal to 3, D equals to 1. Now, okay, print A greater than B. It's true, right? And print A less than B. False, right? Print A greater than or equals to B. Print A less than or equals to B. Print A equals to B. You can check all those things and you can write a conditional, like this. Print A greater than B and like C greater than D. If both the conditions are true, it will print me true. And let's say I write D greater than C. Now this will print me false. Now, if I change it like R, will be like true. Any one is true, will be true. And you can also use not, for example, here. Okay, it will be opposite of that. So this is how operators will work in Python. And next thing would be conditional statements. Okay. Now A equal to 10. If A greater than B. Okay, now how is the syntax done? Okay. Okay. It is if the condition, you keep a colon, and then you by default when you put an enter, 4 space will be left from the beginning, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this 4 space is called indent. Okay, so if A greater than 0, I print A is positive number. So since it's greater than 0, it will print positive number. Now what if I don't leave this space? It will throw me an error saying that indentation is not proper, indentation error. So you need to leave that 4 space. Okay. All right. Now here, else, right, print A is negative number. Okay. Right. So since it's positive number, it is printing me positive number. And if I give -10, it will print me negative number. Okay. Now tell me, if I have 0, what will be the answer? If I have 0, what will be the answer? Okay, I'm seeing that some of the doubts here. How to start Jupyter Notebook? Okay, I'll come to your all your doubts in another 10 minutes. Okay. Okay. All right. So it will give me negative number. Let's check why it is so. Is A greater than 0? 0 greater than 0? No. So it will go to negative number. Okay. 0 is not greater than 0, right? Now, if I use greater than or equals to 0, then first condition becomes true, right? So now it will be negative. Now here, if I want to check the second condition, now what I can do, I can write something called elif. Elif A equals to 0. Print is 0. Now here, the first condition is false, but the second condition becomes true. So it will print 0, right? Now here, A equal to 3. If A equals to 0, it's like print 0. If A equals to 1, print 1. If A equals to 2, print 2. If A equals to 3, print 3. Now you can have as many conditions you want. Now since first condition false, 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 now this will print me 3. Now if I give 35, it will not print me anything because all the conditions failed, but we didn't tell what has to be printed. So here to write something like else print no condition matching. Okay. Right. So this is how the conditional statements works in Python. So we just started with variables and then we are now at conditional statements. Now, next thing, what we need, see, Python, you can use it for machine learning, deep learning. As I said in the very beginning, you can also write scripts to, do some automations in your day-to-day life. You can do a lot of automations using Python scripting also. But to get into any of those, first of all, you should know how to write a code in Python. That is the fundamental and that is very important to become a Python developer. And to become a Python developer, all these things like declaring variables, how to print, how to, write a conditional statement, all these things are important. Now, how will you make a comment? Okay, so I should have informed about the comment a little earlier, but no problem. So here, okay, so how will you make a comment? Now, A equal to 10 and B equal to 20, right? Now, print A, print B. Now this will print me 10 and 20. Now if I put a hash in front of it, that will become a comment. What does it mean? That particular line will not be executed, right? And that is what is comment. Now we'll move on to something, which we will use very often, which is called input reading. Now A equal to 10, B equal to 20, C equals to, okay, now I'll write it in this way. A equal to, let's say, Sachin and B equals to Tendulkar. C equals to A plus B. Print C. And let me also check the data type. Print type of A. Print type of B. Print type of C. Yeah, it's printing all as string. Okay, and Sachin Tendulkar is concatenated, which means it is joined adjacently, right? Now here, the same way, I give 10 and then I give 20. Now this will be printed as 1020 and all will be string. Now, if you want this as an 30 as an answer, so what you need to do? You need to typecast this. Now, the string will be converted to integer. Okay. All right. Now, you can also convert this to float so that you will get the answer in float. Okay. Right. Now, the same way, we want to get an input. Now, I don't want to, hard code it. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write input. And here also, I'm going to write input. It's very simple in Python. If I run it, you see it is asking me for an input. I give 10 and then I give 20 and I expect 30, but let's see what it prints. It prints 1020, 1020 together, and it says the data type of A is string, B is also string, and C is also string. Now, why is that so? Because by default, when you write input, it will be considered, the input, whatever you are giving will be considered as a string. Okay. Now, what you need to do, you need to typecast it. So here, int of input, int of, now you give 10, the string which is going in will be converted as an integer using this, and the same will go for 20, so that, okay, sorry, it should be 10, 20, now you'll get 30 as an answer, right? And see, this is like an empty box, right? You want the user to understand what they need to type. You want to prompt them. So what you can do, you can write it like this. Enter number 1. And here, enter number 2. This gives an idea like what they have to type in simple, right? So they know like enter number 1, they have to enter 10, whatever number, 30. Yep. So this is how input reading, is done in Python. So if you want to create a calculator in Python and you want to get the user input from the user, you can use this function called input. So till now, you got any doubts? You can unmute and you can ask me. So it's been half an hour we started. So you have any doubts?
Actually, Shiva, they cannot unmute. They can write down their queries
Okay.
in Q&A tab. There are few questions actually people had.
Okay, where is the question?
If you want, I can read it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Mahesh is asking, basic of Python should also include he wants to know like how to install this Jupyter.
Okay.
So okay, okay.
All right, got it. Any other question, ma'am? Okay, how to install Jupyter? Okay, so now what you can do, you can go to this website called anaconda.com, like anaconda.com, and you can download Jupyter. Okay, and the same goes for Visual Studio and PyCharm. It's all free open sources. You can download it. Anaconda is open source. You can download it and you can use it for free. Okay, and now after installing it, after downloading and installing, how to open it? You type Jupyter. It will open Jupyter, and you double click it. It will open in the browser. It's that simple. Okay.
Yeah. Right now we only these questions we have.
Okay. All right. Teach slowly. Okay. All right. I'll try to be very slow. Okay. Yep. So we just started with, I'll give you a quick recap of what has been discussed till today. So till now, okay, sorry. It's like variable declaration. We just started with variable declaration, how to declare variables in Python, and how to do comment in Python, and how to do printing in Python, like how to print some simple sentences and how to print something, like with your variable. We just discussed that. And then we also discussed how to, find the data type of a variable, right? Using the type of function. And then we discussed how to do typecasting. Okay. So here, converting integer to float to integer, all those things we discussed. And then operators, what are the operators in Python we just discussed. And then how to write conditional statements and how conditional statement works in Python. And then we just discussed input reading, how to, read input from user. So this is what we have discussed till now. And now I'll be moving on to loops, okay, which is very important.
Sorry to interrupt, Shiva. I'm so sorry. Actually, Kazim want to know that how do you create a note title before typing the code?
Okay, this one you're asking about, this one.
Yes, I think he's asking about this one only.
Where is that? Okay, if you have questions, how do you create node title before typing codes? For example, how did you write data types? Okay, got it. So it's like you type something here, like for example, I type hello, and then you click escape and one together, escape and number one together, and then run it. Okay. And this is how you create the headings in Python. One. All right. So now we'll move on to loops. Okay. See, let me clarify one thing, in this webinar. This webinar is to just give you insights about Python, what is the scope of Python and the basics of Python and how to write, code in Python. And trust me, within 2 hours, you cannot master not only Python, any programming language for that matter. Okay, so 2 hours, not even 2 hours, even 10 hours is not enough to master any programming language. So this is to, give you a glimpse of Python and to make sure you all understand how the code is written in Python, and also to make you all know that Python is very easy and it has a lot of scope, and it is easy so that you can get a very quick job by learning Python or AI. Okay, and for AI, machine learning, deep learning, Python is the fundamental. Okay. Now here I type print hello, will print me hello. And if I want to print a hello 4 times. Now at the end of the webinar, I'll tell you the maybe some of the good YouTube channels, so that if you want to learn by yourself, you can try that out. With this 2 hours of webinar, definitely if you try to watch all those things, you will definitely understand it. Now here, hello will be printed for 4 times. Now, what if I want to print this hello for 1,000 times? I cannot keep copying and pasting, or I cannot keep typing it again and again. So in that case, I can use loops. So here for I in range 1,5, and then I type print I. Now this will print me like from 1 to 5. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now if I write something like this, for I in range 23 to 28, print I. Now this will print me 23 to 28. It's like excluding 28, 27. Okay. And if I give 33, it will be like till 32. Okay. Now I want to print, let's say, thank you for 1,000 times. Now, for I in range 1, 1,001, so that 1,001 will be excluded. Print thank you for attending this webinar. Okay. Now this will print me thank you for attending this webinar. Now maybe at the end I can copy this and I can paste it in Zoom. Okay, so that it'll be like 1,000 times thank you for attending this webinar. Now you want to do something and you wanted to copy in your WhatsApp, you can do that. Okay, so whatever message you wanted to type it for 1,000 times, say for example, thank you or sorry, welcome, good morning. You can do this simple code and you will get it for 1,000 times. Of course, you have ChatGPT now, it will do the job for you. But still, using Python also you can do it. And this is the use of loops. If you want to do something repetitively, again and again, you can use loops. And in Python, loops can be written in this way. For I in range, let's say 1, 5, print I will print me 1 to 4, or I in range just 5. It will print me 0 to 5. Okay. Now see here it's a starting number. Now if I give, let's say 2, it will be like 2, 3, and 4. If I don't mention the number, it will be from 0. I write it here like this. For I in range 1, 10, 2. Print I. Now what this will do? Now the increment, this you can consider like an increment operator. So 1 and then 1 plus 2 is going to be 3, 4, and then from 4 plus 2. So it's going to be like that. So for I in range 10, 1 and 1 after, 2, 3, and then 3 after. So it's like that. It's like jumping. Now you can see 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay. And I give here 1 plus 4 is 5, and 5 plus 4 is 9. So it's just to, jump, in a certain way, in a loop. And this is how loops are declared and used in Python. And trust me, without having a good knowledge in loops, you can never become a programmer. So understanding of loops and how to use loops is very important in any programming language. Now here for A in it's need not to be always I in range. It can be like A in range. I know people who are already aware of programming language. They might be knowing it, but it is for someone who's completely new. You can use A also, or you can use like for Sam and range 5, print like same, whatever. Okay. Or like you can type, uh, let's say you can type anything. France typing, and here also you type France. Okay, so it will be like 1, 2, 3, 4. So the point I wanted to clarify here is it need not to be I or A always here. And this is how you run, declare and run loops in Python. Okay. So you have any doubts in loops? Can we also get the notes like what we want to do and how to the code for it? Yes, we can. I will share it. How can practice such codes? Any portal for practice? Yeah, you have portals like HackerRank is there. You can practice there, or even you can use Google Colab or Jupyter to practice. Even this tool is available for free of cost. You can use that. Okay. Hemant, what do you mean by cases? Okay, thanks. All right. It was spelling mistake, I guess, typos. All right. So here, next one is functions. Okay. How to write functions in Python. Okay, now what is a function? Something, you wanted to call and you wanted to execute some piece of code again and again, you will write function. Okay. That's what I said. There is no I minus minus or I plus plus in Python. But if you want to have an increment in operator in a loop, a kind of thing, you can use that here. Okay. Now, for example, decrement, I'll show here. For I in range, Anuradha has asked me this question. Thanks for asking this question, Anuradha. Now, print I. And put the comma. Okay, are you taking cases for data manipulation of uploading file in Python? I didn't get your question clear, Hemant. You can type this question with more explanation. I'm not able to get you what you are asking. Okay, so this is how you can use decrement operator. All right. There is no specific I plus plus or a I minus minus, a plus plus or a minus minus. There's nothing like that. But you can achieve it using this thing. Okay. Now here, print. Let's say apple. Print orange. Print mango. Okay. All right. I'll stop with this three. Okay, now here it will print me apple, orange, and mango. It's very simple, right? But let's say I wanted to have the same output here. Now the option I have is again I have to type print uh, something like this: apple, print orange, print. And now every time I need this output, every time I have to keep typing it, right? So instead, I'm going to write it as a function. So how to do that? So here in Python, how you write a function is that you start with the keyword called def, define, and then the function name, for example, fruit names. And this is the name I give for this function. Okay. And then I have, and you know this, right? This is indent. You keep a colon, by default, four spaces will be left. If not, you have to leave it by yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So print apple, print orange, print mango. Right? Now let's say I wanted to have the same output. Now I am going to call this function. Right? Now, instead of printing every time apple, orange, and mango, I can call this function so that it will execute the piece of code or codes, a piece of code or codes which is present inside that function. Now, this is the beauty of function. So whenever you call that function, the code inside that function will get executed. Okay. Now, this is simple function. Now, I can write another simple function. For example, df companies. Okay. Right. Print TCS, print process, print CL, print Tech Mahindra. All right. Now, okay, I use the company symbols. Okay. All right. Now here, if I want to call print these company names, now I don't need to write print. I'll just call this company names. The function called companies. And that will do the job for me. And this is how you write functions in Python. Okay. Are you taking cases for data manipulation of uploading file in Python? No, we are not dealing any data manipulation here now today. Okay. This notes will be shared at the end of the class. Fine. Okay. Now functions with arguments. What do you mean by functions with argument? For example, df add a comma b, c equal to a plus b, return c. Now I can call this function add 2 comma 3. So 2 will be going for a and 3 will be for b, and that value will be returned, and then I can store it in d, and here print d. Okay, this is how you write a functions with arguments, and this is how functions are written in Python, right? Of course, you have nested functions, you have inner functions, you have outer functions. Nested is a different concept, and I feel like that is not the scope for today, because this is for to give you insight, and this is like a webinar, okay, not like a typical classroom where I go for advanced concepts. This is to make sure you all know how to code in Python. Okay. Any doubts? Please explain loop again. Okay, Gurmeet. See, loops, I'll make it very simple. So here, okay, I'll write a code here. Now let's say I wanted to print India for 1,000 times. Okay. Now I can copy paste this 1,000 times. You can copy paste it, or I have to type it. Now instead, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a loop for, this is how loop is written in Python, for I in range 1 comma 10. So this loop will run from 1 to 10. So the value of I will start from 1 and it will go till 10. So here print I. So it will start from 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it will stop there. Okay. Now instead of I don't want to print the value of I. I'm going to print India here. Right? Now, what if I write I comma India? So I value will also be printed and India value will also be printed. Is that clear? I believe it is clear. Yeah, you have while loop also, you have infinite loops, you have all those things. Okay, we'll discuss it. Vijay Verma, clear. Thank you, Vijay Verma. All right. Now we will move on to something very important, which is called list in Python. Okay. Now in other programming languages, you have arrays, right? Same way here it is list, but in arrays you can store only similar type of data, whereas in list you can store multiple types of data. Now what do you mean by that? Now here a equal to 10, b equal to 3.14, c equals to hello. Now to store these three data, I am using three variables, right? Now I can write here like print a, print b, print c. Now I can store it using single variable. For example, x equal to 10, 3.14, and hello. Now all these three variable, I'm storing it in all these three data, I'm storing it in a single variable. I asked in Q&A, hey Mahesh, what's your question? What is not answered?
Actually, Mahesh is asking, I heard about Python is machine learning and Python coding is artificial intelligence. Am I right? Are you now writing code is called as ML or AI?
No. See, something you need to understand. Okay. Python is a programming language which is used for creating applications in machine learning or deep learning or in artificial intelligence. Okay. See, you learn English, you can write a book, you can write a novel, and you can write newspaper content, you can write blog, you can do anything, right? But while you are learning English, you will learn alphabets, right? You will learn how to read a sentence, how to write a sentence, and once you master that, you can write your blog or book or novel, whatever. Same way, here you are learning how to code in Python. Now once you learn how to code in Python, you can use it in machine learning, you can use it in deep learning, you can use it in artificial intelligence. Okay. So you are not learning. I'm not teaching machine learning now, or I'm not teaching AI now. But what I wanted to say is that if you know this is the fundamental, the first step. If you know Python, you can learn machine learning and deep learning, or you can implement it in machine learning. As I said, when we joined school as a kid, in LKG, UKG, or kindergarten, or in first standard, people will teach, alphabets, how to, read a sentence, write a sentence, all those things. Once you are done with that, once you complete your college, like you are doing a Bachelor of Arts in English, after that you can write your book, novel, blog, whatever. Same way, after you learn this Python, you can become a machine learning engineer, you can become a AI expert, you can become a Gen AI app developer. It's all up to you. Okay. So we are not teaching machine learning or deep learning. We are teaching the fundamental for machine learning and deep learning, and Python is a fundamental for that. I hope your question is answered. Okay. Now here, print X. So now this will print me 10, 3.14 and hello. Now here, print A will print me 10, print B will print me 3.14, print C will print me hello, right? Now the same way here, if you want to print, now print 10, print X of 0, print X of 1, print X of 2. Now this will also print 10, 3.14 and hello. And even the index starts with 0. So see, this is 0, 1 and 2. You can also have negative index. Now what do you mean by that? Print X of -1, print X of -2, print X of -3. Now it will also print me hello 3.14 and 10. Okay. So this is how the negative indexing can be used. Okay. Now, if I want to print everything one by one, so what I'll do? For I in, see, when you write for I in range 1, 5, will print me 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. For I in range, let's say, instead of for I in range, for I in X, print I. Now, this will print me all the values in X. Okay. User defined provide, okay, Anuradha, as we create user defined functions, but can Python provide inbuilt function as well? Yes, there are a lot of inbuilt functions in Python you can use. Plenty of inbuilt functions are there. We will discuss if time permits that. Rashid, there, a newcomer. Yes, Rashid, welcome. All right. So this is how, list is done, and there are a lot of functions in list. For example, a equals to 2, 3, 4, and a dot append let's say 10. Now this will be added at the end of the list. 2, 3, 4, 10. A equal to 2, 3, 4. A dot, okay, 2, 3, 4. Let me have 5, 6, 7. A dot insert. I want to insert at a particular position. For example, in place of 2, I want to have hello. Now, what is in place of 2? See, this is 0, 1, and 2. So, in place of 2, it will be hello. Okay. Now, totally, how many functions are there in list? How to get that? You can write TI or of list. So you'll get append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, sort. Okay, so we just discussed append, right? So how to use the function clear? Now A equal to, let's say, 2, 3, 4, and you write A dot clear. Now that list will become empty. Yep. And count, for example, in a list, you have to, or like this. Okay, now if you want to know how many 3 are there, you need to count it manually, right? So instead you can use A dot count of 3. And this will print me how many is there. Okay. Okay, now A equal to, let's say, 2, 3, 4. B equals to 5, 6, 7. A dot extend of B. Okay, so Mahesh is again with another question. If I want to, okay, Vijay Verma, I want to only one number clear. Okay, I guess you're asking how to remove one number, any one particular number. I'll come back, Mr. Vijay. Mahesh is asking like, okay, what are the other uses of Python learning language apart from AI and ML? You can use it in testing. You can create web backend. There is framework called Django. There are other framework like uh, Flask. You can use any of those, and then you can create web apps. A lot of uses are there. The most commonly used, or it is used in web backend for automation, and even data analysis can be done using Python. Right, all the stuffs can be done using Python. Okay, Vijay is asking if I want to remove only one number. I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay. So A equals to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, okay, you want to know the index of 4. Of course, it's very simple. By looking at it, you can answer it. But just in case, if you want to know it uh, by code, you can use this. Okay, I'll store it in a variable called B, and yep. So that will give me the index 0, 1, 2. All right. So then insert, index, insert, we just discussed. Okay. Now A equals to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then A dot pop. Now pop, what it will do, it will remove the last element. And if you want to remove one particular element from a given position, in that case, you can use remove. I give 4, so 4 will be removed. You can also give the index. Okay. Right. So we just discussed pop, remove, yeah, reverse and sort. Okay. Now here A equals to 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll make it like this. 3, 1, 5, 4, 2, 3. and then a dot sort. Now this will sort me the list, which is like in ascending order. In simple words, sorting means. And if you want to sort it in reverse, you can have like reverse equals to true. Okay. Right. Now, are we done with all the functions? Append, clear, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, sort, copy. Okay, we are left with copy. What is the use of copy? Now here, A equals to 2, 3, 4. B equals to 5, 6, 7. A dot extend of B print. This will be 5, 6, 7. And here, okay, it's copy, right? I'm explaining this one. Okay. Now A dot A equal to B. Now I append something in A, or like I append something in B dot append 5 print B. Here is the list name M equal to N, and then I do a change in N dot append 10 print N. You see 5, 6, 7, 10 in N, and I print M value. Still, it is also happening in M. If you don't want that to happen, what you can do, you can use copy. So now a copy of N will be taken and stored in M. So M is different, N is different. You see here, whatever you are doing, that is only reflecting in N and not in M. Okay, now this is a use of append, right? Now let's say you have an empty list. A equal to, you have an empty list, and then you have like you want to add something. Okay, now for B equal to int of input A dot append B, print A. Now you see 10 is appended. Now you want to append some 5 elements into B. So A equals to, for I in range income of 5, B equal to int of input for the numbers A dot append B. Okay, now print A. 10, 20, 30, 40. You see that each is getting appended in the list. Okay. All right. Now here, I'll create a list called even, and I create another list called odd. For I in A, I divide that I. If that I divide by 2, and if the remainder is 0, I append it to even. So even dot append I, else I append it to odd dot Friend, I, friend, even, friend, uh, okay. So we just started with how to declare variables in Python, and then we went till list. And I can teach Python for the next 3 4 hours also, but it will be very boring, and you will feel like too much of things on a single day. So Preeti, I would like to stop here. Is that fine?
Yeah, yeah, please. Okay. I would like to request everyone, guys, if you have any question, please write it down in a Q&A tab. And actually, we have lots of questions, Shiva.
Yeah. In the chat, I can see only few.
No, in a Q&A tab, we have around 16, 17 questions.
Okay, where is that?
You can also see that, but okay, like if you want, I can read it for you. Okay,
Okay.
but before that, I want everyone to fill our session feedback form, which I have launched. You guys must be like able to see that. Please fill it out. With it, I think sure we can start with the Q&A.
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. Okay, let's start with the first one. Neetu is asking, Sir, is there any limit of the cell in idle or command prompt for using Python commands?
There is nothing called, there is no limit for the cell. You can literally create as many cells you want.
Okay, there's an anonymous attendee asking, once can you explain count and extend, please?
Count and extend.
Yes.
Okay, let me share the screen. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so how to share the screen here? Oh yeah, I can see the Q&A now. So here A equal to 10 and then B equals to, okay, you were asking count, right? So 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. Then B equal to A dot count of 3. Now this will have, this is count. Okay, now what is extend? A dot extend of B. Now this will extend B to A. Okay. Is that clear? I can see the Q&A sessions. Give me 1 minute. Just now I saw Q&A. No, it's not available for me now. Yeah, stop. Okay,
Okay.
now I can see the Q&A. Yeah. Mm,
Okay, so, okay.
okay, and
So,
then
okay.
how is the query showing 29 for line 10 uh, for 107? See, it's not on order. Okay, so whenever you run a cell, that particular instance, what number, that number will be given. Okay, Kazim Raj. For example, I run a different cell at a different time. That particular moment, what is the cell number that will be given? And then a limit for cell, Neetu, I think it's answered. This was the only language we can communicate with machine. And correct. No, there are many languages. Is there any equivalent for each as available in other language? You have for loop and you can use infinite loops. Are there any do while or while loops in Python? Bala. There is no do while, I guess. The while loop is there. Okay. And then what's the difference between for and while loop? Okay, anonymous attendee. Now, what do you mean by this anonymous attendee? I don't know. But anyway, since you asked me, I would like to answer this. So, for example, let me share my screen. Now, when you know the limit, you can use for loop. Okay. Now, for example, for I in range 1, 5. So this will run only for 4 times or 5 times. Okay. But if you don't know, for example, how many likes you can get in Instagram, that you are not aware. Okay. So every time the button like is clicked, the count has to be increased. If 5 members click the like button, 5 likes, 10 members, 10 likes, right? So it's be like while I less than or equals to 0. If you put less than 0, it won't go inside. Okay. So maybe I'll have if likes less than 0, it will not go. Less than equals to 0, yes, the condition is true. It will go. And I'll do likes equals to likes plus 1. Print likes. Now here there is no limit. You don't know when to stop. So somebody clicks the button, this loop will run. So initially like will be 0. Now 0 plus 1, it will be 1. And when somebody clicks it again, now the value will be 1. Now it will be 1 plus 1, 2. So when you're not sure of the iteration, when your limit, you can use while loop. For loop will run for only certain iterations. As I said, Instagram likes, when a celebrity, post their photo or something, they can get likes as much as possible, right? So you don't know how many times that loop has to run. In that case, you can use while loop. Okay. Incremental of 2. There is no, I don't know, mini Anaconda. There is Anaconda download distribution. You can get it. Then, okay, this notes will be given. I have installed Python 3. What to do next? If you have installed Python, you can use idle. You are using it in browser. Is it like Apache server? No, it is not like an Apache server. Of course, it runs on a local host, but not like Apache server. It's like a local server. Maybe you can consider like an Apache server also. It's a local host, to be very precise, right? So I guess I have answered you. And yeah, is there anything else, Preeti?
No, right now we have these questions only. Before ending the session, just like, can you please, the people who are like watching you right now, and as this is a recorded session, so some people will like watch this session after some time. So, is there any tip you want to share with the people who want, like, who are going to start their journey in Python, who are like a fresher?
Okay. So I would say, start from the very basics and practice a lot of hacker rank problems. People think if they know the syntaxes, people think if they can code something in Python, they can get a job. No, the market is very competitive. We all know that. So I would say, start from scratch and try to practice hacker rank problems. DSA is very important. Data structures is very important. And if you ask me, YouTube channels, I would say, Campus Connect, I guess, and then Code Basics. There is one YouTube channel. I love that guy. He teaches very nice, all those things, machine learning, deep learning, and everything. So these two channels I would strongly recommend. Yeah, and HackerRank solve a lot of HackerRank problems, I would say. And you can, Preeti, can I share my LinkedIn profile here?
Yeah, yeah, sure. We have also shared it, but you can also share it.
Okay, give me a minute. Okay.
Okay, Shiva, let me do one thing. I am sharing URL of your LinkedIn profile with everyone here in chat.
I have also
Is it
shared.
okay?
I have shared it in the chat.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I also need a small feedback for myself, just to know, how the session went. So I guess you are getting your feedback. I will just post the feedback link here. So if you want to leave any feedback, maybe that will be useful for me.
Please, guys, please do fill it this one also. Yeah, let me share it once again because guys, please fill this form also. And thank you very much, Shiva, for delivering such an insightful session.
Thank you so much.
We are really very grateful actually. The
Thank you
time,
so much.
energy, and the knowledge you have invested today. And everyone who have joined us today, we are thankful for you also. Thank you for being a part of this learning experience. And one last thing, if you guys still have any question, please feel free reach out to us or directly. You can
Okay.
directly reach out to Shiva. You can reach out to him via LinkedIn. He will definitely help you. If you have any query, you can message him. He will definitely revert you back. Right, Shiva?
Yes, yes, yes. And
Yeah.
I would also like to take a minute and thank Ms. Preeti for giving this opportunity, Shine and Hindustan Times, and to all the participant, after taking your lunch, you're spending your time here. Thank you so much, Preeti, again, and to all the participants. I wish you all a very best.
Thank you. Actually, we are really grateful, Shiva.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Once again, thank you very much, Shiva. We are
Yeah.
really grateful for this. Your time and your knowledge is very. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. All right.
Bye bye. Take care.